So obviously, like you being Canadian as well as like a wrestling fan, or at least a former wrestling fan,
Yeah.
who is your all-time favorite Canadian wrestler?
Uh,
There's like Bret Hart, obviously, Chris Jericho, or even Chris Benoit, the murderer. Really?
yeah, no, but before Chris Benoit murdered everyone in the world, he was actually my favorite, and not like maybe overall, but like I watched WWF mostly at the time, and I would go to WCW, and if I saw the NWO, I'd be like, yeah, they're cool, I guess. And I'd kind of flip the channels, and I wouldn't really care either way. But if I flipped the channels to WCW and I saw Chris Benoit, I'd be like, oh shit, man, that's that dude, man, that dude that does that shit.
The crippler
Uh,
crossface.
the crippler crossface or triple rolling
Oh
German
yeah,
suplexes.
rolling suplexes. Yeah.
And I'd love him, and he didn't have much of a personality other than like I'm a stone cold like killer guy, and I just wrestle my ass off, and that's
Yeah.
about it. But I really liked him, and then like I was not devastated is hard to say, but when it was announced like his suicide and killed his family and everything, I was like that like
It was like a shock
why
to like
why
everyone. Yeah.
you? Why does it got to be you? Why couldn't it be like Hulk Hogan? Like I don't, like
Repo Man or someone. I don't know.
the Repo Man. Yeah, why couldn't the Repo Man? I take that back. I don't mean Hulk Hogan. I just couldn't think of another guy, but the Repo Man would be a perfect or Mantar
Or like the Mountie.
or the Shockmaster. Hell, why not?
Master, yeah. Why couldn't it be the Baz?
Oh no, don't say that. But yeah, I guess like I really liked him at the time, but I guess it would still be Chris Jericho, I suppose, just because he's such a funny guy.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I've been looking up like stuff I've missed and like DVD compilations of things and anything when they even talk to Chris Jericho about another wrestler, like he's super funny. Like he's never like a dry like yeah I had a good match with him. Chris Jericho like does impressions and he's just like a stupid guy that like not a stupid guy, but you know what I mean, like a
Yeah,
silly
stupid and funny.
like he doesn't take himself seriously, which to me is a good way of not killing yourself or ODing on drugs or whatever. All the wrestlers that had a bad ending, they're always dudes that were like a little
Like off.
off a little bit, like they took their role way too seriously or like they didn't have fun with it, type thing. So I'd say Chris Jericho. Maybe a close second would be Edge.
Edge. Oh yeah, Edge is like another good Canadian one.
He got to kiss Lita like tons of times. Like, oh man, that guy's awesome.
I'm jealous of you, man. I love you.
And I'm done with Emma Stone. I'll move on to Lita or Trish Stratus, I guess. Trish Stratus and Lita were like detrimental to my development as a teenager.
They made me feel things.
They made me feel things. I had a bunch of posters of them in my room that I cut out of like WWF Raw magazine.
Yeah.
And when I met like my girlfriend of like a million years, she came into my room. I had forgotten that all the posters were there. And then she came in, she's like, and I'm like, yeah, I was just planning to take those down. I'm not into that stuff anymore. Like,
You saw nothing.
yeah, exactly. Like, I just throw like a huge tarp over the wall.
Yeah.
It's something that I always find funny is that like I used to be really into wrestling when I was like a kid, like whatever, and then I just grew out of it or just got less interested.
Right.
And like lately, I've been watching like old wrestling stuff. Like what's some dumb stuff that happened when like the 10 years where I stopped watching it. And like a really funny compilation is two wrestlers that are American, and one's more like his stick is that he's patriotic, like like whatever. Yeah, exactly, like a guy like that. And then the crowd will chant USA even when he's fighting a guy from like Arizona. They're like, what? They're cheering against the evil foreigner from Arizona. I always find that shit like really funny.
Funny thing here, actually, I just grabbed this at my mom's house. Since you were talking about wrestling, I picked up my Shawn Michaels HBK like collection like my mom's house. I feel like
Is that how it came in?
this is how I bought it. Like I bought this like years and years ago. Like it's like Shawn Michaels' entire career up until he like first retired after WrestleMania 14.
Right.
So yeah, and like it has like some stuff like when he did like TWA stuff and like It has like a shoot interview too, like where he talks about the Montreal Screwjob and all that fun stuff.
Ah, okay. I was there.
You were there for 14 or?
No, for the Montreal Screwjob.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I remember like this was like before they had like the big huge like TV screens. They would just have that one that was kind of small above the ring. I don't remember. I remember being confused. That's all I remember. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember like seeing like a footage of it, and like everyone in the audience is kind of like looking around, like what's going on? Like this is mass confusion.
We have like a thing that we say. You know the meme like that's based around animes where you go, I hope Senpai notices me today. You ever heard that before?
Yeah, like Senpai.
We like saying I hope Shawn Michaels notices me today because it's such a weird mix of like two things that couldn't be any more opposite. Like, oh geez,
Yeah.
I hope Shawn Michaels Senpai notices me.
That's too funny, man.
I haven't used it that much in videos yet, but I want to bust that out at some point.